Hi, everyone. My name is Ann Zimmerman, and I'm here to help you draw a beautiful mermaid using the supplies that the Somers Library has given you. This is what I did, and you can certainly make it your own, whatever colors you want, sparkles, whatever. What you were given or what you were picked up, first of all, was a oh, I'm going to remove this for a second. You were given a thing that you can paint on a canvas board. You were also given tissue paper that we're going to use. You have glitter in a little package, and you have some shells. Now, some things that you'll need of your own, if you have around the house, I'm going to pull right over here, are if you have some markers, any type of markers, glue, just regular glue, which actually I think you might be given, a little tiny container of water, and a paintbrush. We're going to be using that to adhere the tissue paper to the tail. So I'm going to move this all for a minute. And we're going to start. The canvas that you were given has some tightly wrapped plastic on it. If it's going to be tough to take the plastic off, but if you use a scissors, it will come off easier. I'm going to put this here, and you're going to need a pencil to begin. The other thing that the Somers Library was very nice to also include is this. This is a sheet on how to draw a mermaid. It kind of breaks it down into simple steps. And this is the way I'm going to be teaching you. So you should have that also. So I'm going to put this to the side. I have my canvas. I'm going to hopefully have everything set here. And we're going to begin. I'm going to begin with a pencil. And I'm going to be looking at this sheet. If you see this sheet, it looks like there's some dotted lines that they're dividing the canvas into 4 sections. I find it easier to do it that way. So if you lightly want to just eyeball the canvas and divide it into 4 sections, you don't need to use a ruler for this. We don't need to be that precise, but draw lightly, because if you draw heavy, it's going to be hard to erase it. And what we'll do is we'll begin with the face of the mermaid. And it's going to be on the left side here, close to this line. And you're going to start by doing, I'm going to hope this comes out, a U shape like this. That's going to be the face. And then we're going to make a little triangular part like that. That's going to be the mermaid's face. And here's the line there. The next thing we're going to do, and it's still going to be on this left hand corner, is we're going to do the neck, the shoulder, and we're going to bring the arm down a little bit. Then we're going to continue the neck, but we're taking the shoulder and we're going over the line and going into the next square, whatever you want to call it, rectangular. And then we're going to add part of the arm, and we're going to go back and we're going to add part of the arm here. Now I'm going to give you a little time to catch up, and I'm going to fix this arm a little bit because I made it a little bit too thick. Keep in mind, erasers are our friends. If you need to erase something, not a problem. So once you've caught up, you're going to go back. This is going to be probably where the elbow would be. So we're going to continue the arm, and this will be the hand, down to where this line is that we drew. Again, I'm going fast, but you're going to be going much slower. I'm going fast, though, because I want to be able to finish this for you. So now we're going into the next section over here. See, here. And we're going to, this is going to be where the elbow is. And I'm going to continue to draw the line. And I'm just making like a simple hand like that. Doesn't have to be something with fingers. We're not going to get involved in that. So far, this is what we have. In pencil, I have my eraser. We have the mermaid's head, a little bit of the neck, You have the arms. Now I'm going to go back in here, left side, left rectangle here, and I'm going to add the top. So I'm going to go like this, make like a little, and I'm going to go to the end of where this line is. And I'm going to go like that. So that's like her bra top. So what we need now is her waist and the stomach area. So we're going to go a little bit off this line here. And I'm going very slowly like that. I drew that much so far. And then you're going to make a V. So we have that so far. So I know you're probably catching up. That's fine. Go slow, erase if you need to. Then we're going to add the tail. The tail is going to encompass these, actually all of these rectangles that we have here, because that's the main focus of this artwork. So I'm going to begin and I'm going to draw the tail starting up here. It's going down into this rectangle. And again, you can look at the sheet that you were given, because between me doing this here and you looking at your sheet, you should be doing pretty well. So I started that. That's going to be part of the tail. Then I'm going over here and we're going to go in to the other side of this line slowly. Again, you can look both at the worksheet and what I'm doing. And I have that much done. And you're going to add the bottom part of the tail. And that's going to take up a lot of space. Like that. So now we have the mermaid. And we have the tail. We have her body. So we have this done so far. Now, if you look at this part of the worksheet, we're going to add her hair. Now that the hair is flowing because she's underwater, and we're going to have partial of the hair over on this rectangle, and then we're going to have most of it on the right side over here. It doesn't come down here. If you want it to, you can, but you don't have to. So I'm going back up to the mermaid where the head is, and I'm going to start adding the hair. So once again, you can look at the worksheet, you can watch me. The hair doesn't have to be exact. You can do it how you want to. You can make it wavy, you can make it straight, you can go crazy and add a lot of hair. But I'm just going to go like this. And there's my hair. And I'm actually not too happy with this part, so I'm going to erase right here. You can always erase. Even though this is a canvas, you can erase on it. There. Okay, let's see. What do we have so far? So we have her hair. So now what we need to do is have her face. If you can see on the sheet, it's very simple, very simple. We didn't even draw her eyes open. So you're going to draw her lashes basically like that. There's one on one side. We're going to do one on the other side. We're going to give a little hint of a nose. And then we're going to draw a mouth. Hopefully you'll draw a smiling mouth. I'm not sure if I like that mouth that I just did, but it's okay for now. Okay, my mermaid looks a little bit thin, so I think I'm going to make her a little bit heavier. I don't want her starving. So I'm just going to go back and make her a little bit heavier. There we go. Okay. Now, what else is there? Okay, you can add, if you like, this, like the sea plants. You can add fish. You don't have to draw those in now. What I do is I use my markers or colored pencils and do them at the end, because otherwise you might have some pencil showing through. If you want now, what you can do is go back and erase the lines that we drew at first, because you really don't need them anymore. They were there for guidelines. So you can erase those. Please remember, I'm going fast, but you're going to be drawing much slower, and that's fine. You should enjoy this and take your time. Okay, now we're into the fun part. Um, you have a little glue bottle. See if you can find a little container of water, which I already put in. Lots of times glue bottles don't always do what you want them to do, and the glue doesn't come out. As you can see, it's not coming out. So I'm going to take the cap off and I'm going to pour some glue into the water mixture. Some of you might have heard of Mod Podge sealer. I usually use that, but when you don't have that around, definitely this is a very inexpensive way to make that. So here we are mixing, only a little bit of water needed, not too much water, and you really don't need that much glue. I would say maybe 2 big squirts of glue and then about, I don't know, a little bit of water. Don't need that much. So I'm going to put this over to the side. Now for the tail, you were given tissue paper. It is up to you to decide what colors you'd like to do. You might want to just do blues. You might want to just use greens. Might want to make her tail look like a goldfish and do orange and yellow and golds. I did on mine pinks and purples because those are my favorite colors. But let's see. This time I think I will do greens. So taking some of the greens, you don't have to be extremely precise, and you can either rip them with your fingers or you can cut them, whichever you like to do. I'm going to tear them into little strips. Let's see if I can see it like that. You're really not going to need too much. You don't want the pieces big because then it's going to be hard to keep them within the drawing. So if you can see what I did here, I'm actually going to tear it again so that the pieces are this small. And I'm going to put them to the side off of my canvas. So I'm doing them, getting them small. This is a project where it might even take 2 days. You might want to do the tissue paper part, let it dry, and then the next day go and color the background. Totally up to you. This is also something that you can do on paper or watercolor paper, or even you can make a card. You get cardstock, you can make somebody a card, just make the mermaid smaller. So I'm ready to begin. And I'm going to do, we're only doing the tail. And there's really no right or wrong way to do it. Totally up to you. Press it down and then you just brush it and it will stay. You can layer the pieces so that they kind of look like scales, as you can see what I'm doing. Again, you want to try to stay in the drawing. You don't want to go outside of the lines. If you do, that's perfectly okay, but I'm trying not to. So as you can see, I'm really just putting them on top of each other, but letting, not completely, but like this. And it's starting to look nice like scales. The green is actually kind of nice. There is no right or wrong way to do it. And let's say you made a mistake and you don't like it, you will be able to just lift it right back up. Look, see? So I'm not going to talk during this part too much. I'm just going to try to focus. You can watch. Mermaids are my favorite. I collect mermaids. I just find them to be beautiful creatures. I know they're not real, but still. Now it gets narrower here. So your pieces, you might want to have them be thinner. As you can see, my pieces are getting thinner because otherwise they would be coming out of the tail. See? And they're sticking. It's amazing. And you don't really need to put a lot of glue into your container? Because look, I have a lot left. If you wanted to make a huge mermaid on a huge piece of paper, you can do the same thing. Even though this is smaller, you can enlarge it, enlarge your drawing, you can make it smaller. This doesn't have to be the only mermaid you do. You can do another one. Make it as a gift. So as you can see, we're almost done with the tail. Pieces are a little too big. Also, don't use too much glue. If you've noticed, I haven't gone back and gotten more glue each time. I'm trying to still use what I have on the brush. We don't want to make a big gloppy mess on your canvas. So, I mean, the tissue paper, as long as it's wet, will stay down. Okay, so my tail is pretty much finished. For coloring, this is the part where usually I wait until this is dry, but for today, I will try to show you what I did again here. While the tissue paper is still wet, that is when I pour the glitter on. You don't have to use the glitter. You may or may not want to, but if you want to use the glitter, I would make sure that everything is a little bit wet. Everything is still wet because it's not going to work if the tissue paper dried. And then you're going to take your glitter, which I'm going to find here. Be careful when you open it up. I'm going to pour a little bit on my hands. And then I'm going to take it and sprinkle it onto the already wet tissue paper. You also have some little glittery doodads that you were given. You can put those into the tail if you want, or not, up to you. But I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do that much for now. If there's any glitter excess, just kind of brush it off. And now I'm ready for color. Look at how pretty that tail is. Now, for color, we're not using paint. We're going to use either magic markers or colored pencils, whatever you have on hand. So what I did with this original one, her hair was done with colored pencils. I used a couple of different colors. I used like a very light yellow, golden yellow, a light brown to get those different colors. So I'm going to see if I can find them. I'm just going to show you how the colored pencils. Here's one. And I really should do a brunette since I did a blonde already, but this is what I have here. So even though it's a canvas used for paint, you still can use colored pencils or markers. I would do a lot, nicer and neater of a job, but time, I'm just trying to get the color in there. But hair is usually a lot of fun to do. Let's see. Also going to use, I'm going to show you how you can use marker along with colored pencil. The hair could be any color. It could be brown. It could be black. It could be purple. Whatever color you want to use is fine. I actually like to use the colored pencil and the marker together because sometimes markers will look more childlike if you just use markers. But if you use like a combination of different art materials together, it kind of works well. This one's kind of drying out, so I can't use that one anymore. Skin color. Skin color, again, could be whatever color you want it to be. It could even be light green, could be brown. Let's see if this is a good color. I'll use this just very lightly to show you. I'm using a marker. So you would do the face, you would do her skin. Don't have to do the mouth. We'll do that with something else. And for her top, you could use sequins, you could use sparkles, you could use color. I'm going to use color, and I think I'm going to use this fuchsia marker. And if you want, you could put glitter on that too. You could put sparkles. You can get as sparkly as you want. Also going to do her mouth and the eyes are kind of done already. So they'll kind of look okay. Let's see, what do I have here that I have? Here I added a flower. You were given some shells. If you notice, I didn't use my shells, but maybe I'll put a shell on her hair. It's gonna have to stay for a while because you would glue it. I'm not gonna glue it right now, but you could add a shell right there if you wanted to. So looking at this and looking at the worksheet, they added plant life and fish. So why don't we go ahead and do that? I'm going to take a pencil. I can find my pencil. All right, I'll use this. And I'm going to add some plant life, just some squiggly lines going up. I'm going to add some plant life here. And then I'm going to add some fish. I'm going to add a fish maybe up here. Sort of like an eye shape with a tail. You can add another one down here. Tail. What I would do is I would take your markers or colored pencil and I would go over the plant life lines. My markers seem to be drying out, but I am still going with it. And then the fish. Fish can be any color you like. I might go with orange. Now later, my orange is drying out. Later, I'll probably go back, do a little bit more detail, do her hair a little bit better, add some other colors, maybe add some glitter on her fish or in her hair. But this is basically how it works. So again, I would take more time with the hair. I'm very happy with the way the tail came out. So once again, this one is the finished product. I'm going to put this one down here. I think that's about it. I hope if you have any questions, always call up the library, they can contact me, but I think you'll be okay with your worksheet, all the wonderful supplies that the library is giving you, and this video. So enjoy, take your time, and have fun. Thank you.